Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. And I'm your host, Tony Renfro. And it's so good to have you here with us this evening on a Thursday, April the 1st. This is Ain't No Food Day. This is the real day. Hey, we've got a special guest tonight. He is the city councilman, a candidate for city councilman for Ward 2 here in Beaumont, Texas, for the May 1st, 2021 election. His name is ALFRED Dean. We're going to bring ALFRED Dean back right after the couple of announcements, and let's visit. Knowledge is Power Podcast Live is a platform to share important information by educating Southeast Texas African American communities with valuable information on health, education, financial, politics, business, and whatever it takes to educate you with more information. Also, Knowledge Power Podcast Live is available on Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Apple, iTunes, and Google Play. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button, the red subscribe button, and subscribe to Knowledge is Power Podcast. We're on Sundays and Tuesdays of every evening. This is what we call the Roundtable Talk. Every first Thursday, we talk about local issues, state issues, national issues. We just talk about in general, a roundtable talk. And we do that every first Thursday of each month. But tonight, we're going to invite the candidate, ALFRED Dean, to kind of join us for the first 30 minutes of our Thursday night roundtable talk. Don't forget, people, that the TexasRentRelief.com, those that are behind on their rent or needing their rent paid and cannot pay their rent, the FEMA is going to, the state government is going to pay your rent. That's right. You can find it at www.texasrentrelief.com or call 1-833-987-368. And also, it's also for renters and landlords. Landlords can get their money back to pay that deal. Okay. Also, the COVID-19 funeral assistance, FEMA.gov is paying up to $7,000 of your funeral expenses if you have a loved one that has passed away, and the causes of death was COVID-19 coronavirus. FEMA will pay you up to $7,000 of your funeral home expenses starting at January 20th of 2020. So that's available. I want to give a shout out to old Robert Darkins. Thank you, Rob, for watching and listening with us. Let's go here and let's see what else we have to announce that we have not announced. Let's go. Yeah, check out our new website. If you haven't watched the show and you want to see one of our shows that you missed, you can always go to our new website. It's knowledgeispowerpodcast.live. That's right. So with that being said, I'm going to let you guys know that we are again here on Sundays and Tuesdays. And the fact that I'm saying this is that we're only here to pass on information to our community. We do not endorse candidates. Knowledge is Power Podcast would not endorse a candidate. We're inviting candidates to come and visit with us, let us know their platform, what their goals are for running for that particular position. Knowledge is Power Podcast and its host, we do not endorse candidates. So if you're watching and you know why we have candidates on, because we want you to know who the candidates is, who you want to vote for. We're not going to be biased. So that's what we're all about right here on Knowledge is Power Podcast Live on tonight. So tonight, I'll be back in 30 seconds with our guest, ALFRED Dean. Welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast Live with your host, Tony Renfro. Donna Sherwood and Francis Larkins.
Knowledge is Power Podcast Live starts now.
Oh, look who we have here. All right. Hello, everybody. ALFRED Dean. Wait a minute, I got a reverb in here. Let's see something.
Yeah.
I hear it. Let's see. Somebody's mic is too loud. Okay. All right. ALFRED. And also, I've got Perry Busby back with us, our Thursday night crew member. How are you, sir?
How you doing, Mr. Busby and Mr. Renfro?
All right. ALFRED Dean, running for Ward 2 here in Beaumont, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Let me ask you. I got to ask you this question. I've got to ask you this question. What made you decide to run for this particular position? Because one time I thought you was going to run for mayor, right?
Yes, sir. I thought about it and I seen the big list. And man, you have 5 people running for mayor. That's too many votes for different people. So I've been living in Ward 2 for the last 7, 8 years. And a lot of stuff I didn't like. A lot of stuff I seen just watching the city council meetings, going to the city council meetings, and just paying attention to what's going on. See, I'm big involved with the youth. So I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I'm not one of these guys that's political, politics. I listen to people, and that's what I'm here for. So just seeing that a lot of stuff is going a different way, and they put more stuff in front of people that's not right, and not listening, just saying, hey, we want to build this, but you're not talking to all the people in your ward. So I decided to run. I talked to a couple people behind the scenes and got a couple support. And I know a lot of people didn't know who I was because I'm real quiet to myself, pay attention, observing. And I've been popping up here and there doing certain things. Like I said, I do a lot of stuff with the youth behind the scenes, with the homeless. I've been doing stuff that people been videoing. I'm not for the video, nothing like that. If it's meant for me to be seen, that means God gonna allow it. So I put God first in everything. So that's me, ALFRED Dean. I'm actually born and raised in Beaumont. I was raised in the South Park area. Kind of stayed with my grandparents a lot. My great uncle used to own Dean's Barbecue. So that's kind of our history. We've been appealing in Beaumont for some years.
Well, I understand that you saw some things that you didn't like. So tell me, what has prepared you for this position as a city councilman member?
Well, like I said, I'm ex-military, so I've been in a leadership role. I made sergeant at a young age, about 22, 23 years old. I spent 6 years. I went and got my degree in occupational health and safety, and then I've been in the refineries. I've been in leadership roles for a while. I've started nonprofits and it progressed. And it's just more on being a people person, not just for a certain type of person, for everybody. I think everybody deserves a chance to actually be heard, you know. And I'm not one of these guys. I'm not gonna argue with people. I think everybody have a difference of opinion, and you got to respect that.
Well, tell me this, okay? You said you've been watching the city council meeting. You've been attending it, watching, paying attention. And this is the only way you can prepare yourself for position. And so tell me a little bit about what is the duties of a city council?
The duties of a city councilman is to actually work for the people in his ward. That's it. Making any decisions on your own. Like I believe, and this is an opinion of me, I believe it should have more city councils. The wards are really big. So a city councilman is not going to be able to talk to everybody in his ward. So there's no way you can say, oh, I got my whole ward supporting me, which is not true. Because everybody's not voting. Everybody don't know who you are. Just like, for instance, I know a lot of people don't know who I am. I think the ward should be split. We should have more city councilmen, more people making decisions instead of a couple, you know?
Well, let's get back to the question that I just asked. What are the duties of a city councilman?
To listen to his constituents and do what the people want him to do.
What are the duties? I mean, on the chamber, what your position that you're running for? What do a city councilman do besides take care of his constituents?
Well, he actually supposed to be taking care of the city as a whole, not just his ward, voting on important things for his ward, but also working as a team with the other councilmen to improve Beaumont as a whole. That's what he should be doing.
Well, what makes you stand from all the other candidates in Ward 2?
Well,
What's
like
going to be
like
the
I
difference?
like I mentioned before, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm more on what I see things and what you do and talk to people. So, for instance, I'm a type of guy that I'm gonna bring it to the people first before we do any votes, any chambers, or anything like that. So, if my constituents don't agree with what I agree with, then you go with your constituents. That's who you work for, in city council.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole goal is, to work as a team with all the wards. I'm not gonna go in a council meeting just to go against a ward. Beaumont as a whole need to be fixed. I mean, we all know, and let's just be honest. Ward 2 is probably the most developed ward. It really is a developed ward in Beaumont
You think so?
compared to the other wards.
No, it's one of the worst.
I didn't say that. Terry said that. I
Yeah,
didn't say
I
that.
know.
Okay.
I talk to Mr. Terry, and
Yeah.
I pay attention. I follow a lot of stuff Mr. Terry do, and I understand where
No,
he
they
coming
didn't.
from.
They put the makeup on a pig, but it's still a pig.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So
Like I've been in this area. I stay behind Buckner's, and there's no way we have people houses on Mannion still flooding up to their doors on regular roads. But yeah, we want to build extensions and all that extra stuff, or build dog parks and stuff. No, let's fix what we need to fix first. Then we get to building.
hmm,
Okay. Anybody want to ask questions before I go continue?
got a little echo tonight, huh?
I know. I don't know where that's coming from. You hear it?
You got your phone nearby, or you playing it on
No.
you might need to turn the
Let me do
video
this.
off. Turn the sound down on your phone.
My phone is not on.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel a little reverb myself. I don't know where it's coming from.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay,
yeah, it
so
wasn't there before.
let me ask another question. I can live through it. What would be your number one major issue you plan to address once you become
Oh
a
man,
candidate?
that's kind of a hard question because it could really should be from the people. But for me, it's the crime rate and what we need to do for the youth. We gotta address more stuff. A lot of people complain about the crime rate in our youth. Yeah, we have some infrastructure that needs to be fixed, but if nobody's gonna come to a city with a high crime rate, that's just what it is. We need to start doing programs like I said at the Pack the Polls when we spoke is I'm big on the youth. I think we need to bring stuff back like the Dare. We need more. Why do we have one rec center in Beaumont when I can tell you like I'm part of East Beaumont Timberwolves, right? We give out 8,000 flyers for 6th grade on down. Another organization give out another 8,000. So that's 16,000 kids for one rec center in Beaumont. That's not right. When I was raised up, we had Assumption, we had Dare Officer, we had Cops and Kids, we had all these different programs for the youth and less crime. You take all this stuff away, we got a high crime rate, but then nobody's doing nothing to fix it. Nobody's gonna come to Beaumont with a crime rate. That's why everybody's moving. So I think we need to start with the youth first and then develop the get rid of the crime rate. Cause I deal with a lot of kids come from single parent homes, and I can tell you I met a young man 11 years old that already been arrested. We shouldn't have this, you know. So I'm real passionate about kids. So when I say I do a lot, you can go to my page and see that I'm the vice president. Me and my wife and another guy, the Mun Gilda, we formed the East Beaumont Timberwolves just because they didn't have a team over there for all them kids, and then if we wouldn't have done that, they sitting at home or getting themselves in trouble.
Well, if you can change one thing, are you familiar with the zoning?
Yes,
Okay. If you can change one thing in the zoning code, what would it be?
I think the zoning is I think the zoning is too big to me. for one person to cover.
No, no, no. I'm
However,
talking about the zoning code.
well, I have to be honest, I'm not familiar with that. I thought you meant the whole area.
No, no. We're talking about the zoning code.
Like I said, I haven't read up on it yet.
Mm-hmm. Terry, would you help him out with that?
Say that again.
Would you help him out with that?
About the zoning code,
Yes.
it's really like, they allow certain things to happen in certain zones. It's like the area is zoned out. Like you can build certain things here, or you can not build certain things there. It's just like just building wise.
I think if it's profitable, it should be allowed throughout the whole city. But if it's like, for instance, I know they got a lot of homeowners associations, but they don't allow you to build certain things in your neighborhood or on your property. And it's a matter of opinion. I think if a gentleman or a family buys their home, and if it's not going to depreciate the value of the neighborhood, it should be allowed. Somebody shouldn't dictate what you're doing in your home unless you're doing things that destroy the neighborhood. Then yeah, it should be something to be brought up, like leaving old cars or making oil stains that's making the property go down. That shouldn't be allowed because now you're not only messing with the land you're on, but you're bringing the value down of the community. So
Yeah.
some certain codes should be in place, but as for telling me I gotta build my house a certain way or build my business a certain way, now I don't think somebody should dictate that, especially if they're gonna profit, which is bring more money and taxes to the city.
If well, I have a question. What is the one thing that you would hope? Let's say you were elected. What is the one legacy uh, that you would want coming into this? I mean, everybody who runs for something. Uh, so your run, what do you want it to represent? And if you were to make it to council, what do you want your time on council to represent? I mean, not just that you were there taking a seat, because we
Man,
got
like,
plenty of people who do that.
all right. As for a legacy, I'm not really big on a legacy. I just wanted people to know that hey, he went up there, he's trying to do right. Because I'm not gonna promise nobody anything about hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. That's not right. You can't predict the future and say, oh, I'm gonna get this done. No, because you have votes, and we have to vote as a team to get anything done. So my legacy would be that we change at least some, because I know it's a 2 year run, right? In 2 years, our crime rate should be down, right? I already know they're working on the water system, and we should have a plan. Don't just pick and choose. They keep saying we did a survey on what streets are bad, what streets are not bad. Let the people know in order what we're gonna fix, so people won't know, hey, well they fixing on this street, but my street been messed up for the last 10 years. Let them know the order. That's when people need to talk. Like a councilman should be talking to his people. He should have a podcast. Let them know what they're talking about. Certain people that's not like, for instance, I went to the city council meeting at 1:30 this week. 9 times out of 10, people that want to be there, they're at work and they can't watch city council. I work for a refinery, so if it's during the week, I can't make it. I gotta watch the rerun on live. Go watch it. But by the time they already been voted. You know, allow people to change. So my biggest legacy is change the time. That's changing for everybody to be there. Listen to the people, because I sat there and I seen how councilmen they wasn't really listening. They was more want to bicker with each other, behind the scenes, uncalled for. And we basically changed it to a professional atmosphere. You're a city councilman. You represent the people. You don't represent people when you're arguing and discussing that on live in front of the people, the citizens. I mean, if I was an outsider and I seen that, I was like, man, they don't have it together. You know? So my ability is let's change the crime rate and say, hey, this city really cares about its people. Let's fix the program for the youth. Let's start there. Let's fix that. And then once we see the change, then we can say, all right, let's move on to the next phase. It should be phases. Don't just jump all over and say, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And the only good thing I seen from the city council meeting was the plan they have for the water thing, which I think is going to take too long.
Yeah.
So
If
what?
I if
Okay, go ahead.
yeah, if I don't have a question, but I do have some advice
Yes,
because
sir.
I want to see you be successful, and successful in this is not always winning, but it is about you know accomplishing the goal, and I think you have some admirable goals. Uh, if you can, and I know it used to sound popular, but let's not say that you're not into politics because that's what this is about.
Yeah, I
Right.
understand.
This is
When
straight
I
about pop. Yeah, no. I'm just saying, me as a person and listening,
gotcha.
because yeah, saying you don't want to be a politician, that sounds good in some way, but your job is going to be all about politics.
Yes, sir.
And so I need you, and your constituents gonna need you to
Yes,
be
sir.
about politics. So that's kind of like saying, well, I want to go out for football, but I don't really like football. No, if you're gonna put on them pads, you better be in the game.
And when I went about
Uh,
that, I'm not gonna feed nobody no information just to read off numbers. Like, you know what I'm saying? To say, oh, I'm doing this. I won't do that to people. I'm gonna
I
be
know.
upfront.
No,
I'm
I,
an
I I
upfront
know
person.
exactly what you meant. I know
Yes,
exactly
sir.
what you meant.
But
But
when
I'm
it
just
come down
saying,
to
let's
business,
not say that.
when I come down to business, I'm about business, and we're
Yeah.
Well,
gonna do what's right. I believe in
we,
that.
we want to help you. Okay,
Right.
we
Yes,
want to
Yeah.
sir.
help you. We don't.
Because
We're not
this
here. Yeah, go ahead.
because this is not a it's really a game in a
Mhm.
sense, and it's really not something you could learn like in 2 months or
Right,
3 months. Because I
right.
hear a lot of people
Hmm.
talking now, and I can tell they only just thought about this maybe 5 months ago.
Yes,
And
sir.
and if you think you're gonna get in it and you think it's gonna be easy, because me just sitting here, the knowledge that I have, I probably know more than the 7 or 8 people that's running because I've been studying it for a long time. And you can't just jump in the game. You know, sometimes people have to be real with you and tell you that this is not as easy as people think it is because it's not. People
Yeah.
people eat you alive. And by you
Yeah.
saying you're not a politician, they're gonna prove to you that you're not.
Yes, sir.
You gotta
Yeah.
study this. It's
Yeah.
because if I ask you right now, what is the SSOI initiative? Would you know what that is? And
No, sir.
that's one of the biggest problems in Beaumont, and nobody knows nothing about it. Nobody. I hadn't heard nobody speak about it, but that's the reason why we're having sewer problems. Because when you enter into a 10-year agreement with the TCEQ that says you're only allowed to fix so many sewer issues a year, why would you enter into that kind of agreement? And if somebody running don't know about that, then they might well sit on the sidelines and learn about it. And that's just the truth. I mean,
Yes, sir.
it's not nothing towards you. It's just toward people in general that think that this is something easy. Because with
Yeah.
me, I'm gonna come with some hard questions. And if you don't know, then I'm not gonna vote for you. And that's
Yes, sir.
just the truth.
Yeah.
You know, you have to sit back, you have to learn it
Yeah.
because it's not a game.
Yeah. But you do raise some valid points because I've heard you said at least 4 times about uh, councilmen not being in touch with their constituents, and I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah,
You know that is a big issue,
yeah.
and that is something that we need to agitate about. I think that it's good. How likely is it? I don't know because what they say, people people will treat you like you let them. And so
Yeah.
when people don't demand much from their leaders, then they don't get much from them.
No,
I mean, and so uh, just saying, you got a admirable task, but that also means changing the mindset of the people. And I
Yeah.
think that you're about the people, and so regardless of where your campaign goes, make sure you get the people engaged, not just in you, but about Beaumont.
Yes, sir.
Learn the game.
I'm writing down notes if y'all don't mind.
No problem.
I tell you, Mr.
You
Terry,
on
I
mute,
pay
Tony?
attention to you a lot.
All right. And not only learn the game, you got to learn the job.
The job.
The job. You know, you know, you can't decide 30 minutes ago that you want to run for a city council. It takes an average person 2 years
At
just to
least.
learn, at least 2 years to know what the job is all
If
about.
you want to be a good one.
If you want to be a good one.
If you want to be a good
Yes.
one.
Right. So I want you, and don't get me wrong, we're not trying to hurt you. We're not trying to.
I want the best for you.
We want to encourage you, and the best way to be encouraged, you need to handle what we
True.
the truth.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The truth.
And we don't want you acting, being set up.
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
you are easily set up, easily. And
Mm-hmm.
and you heard me say, I want the meat of my question answered, and you did not give me that meat. This is what's wrong with not you, but every candidate that we have visited with. We want to know the meat. Do you know the meat?
The me or what?
The meat. When I say the meat, I want to know what is the duties of a city councilman.
Oh, all right. Now I
All right?
understand.
I want the meat of it. I don't want you to jump around here. I don't want to jump around there. I want to know the meat of it, the bone of it. So now I'm gonna move on to another question. I want you to know, when I say I want you to know the duties of the job of a councilman, you need to know about zoning, all the zoning codes, what it takes to get a permit to build a home without all the red tape. So that's just an example, okay? So you wonder why people are asking that question? It's because we've got some problems downtown. And the problem downtown is too much red tape.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the next time we come back to you, I want you to answer those two questions for me. But again, I want to encourage you to learn the position, learn the job. So when those questions are asked, it can come out your mouth and flow. All right? Because immediately they know that you don't know.
Because there's a lot of them that don't know.
That's a lot of them don't know. That's sitting up there now.
Yes.
This is why we are in the position we're in now.
Yeah, they just beat you on. They just beat you on age and being able to maneuver, but they don't know anything.
No.
So, I kind of learned that when I sat there in that city council meeting for about 4 hours and didn't accomplish really hardly nothing.
Yeah. The man on the bot below you, Mr. Dean, the guy with the glasses on down there, he the one got me involved like I am right now. He told me to get off of Facebook and learn. The guy, Mr. Perry, sitting right down there. He told me to get off of Facebook.
I'll be following Mr. Perry now and reaching out to him.
He said you don't get nothing. He said you're not gonna get nothing done on Facebook.
No,
nothing. And he was right. And you got to listen to people, even though people younger than you, even people a little bit older than you, you have to listen. And when Perry told me
that's what I say. I think you're in a great position. You in the community. You hear the people, and you saying things that sometimes people in our circle won't say because they see it at a different level. But those people have a voice, and so you are their voice, and they need the best of you.
Right.
Because you bring something to this. I mean, you bring the voice of a part of Beaumont that people will easily look past and shove off to the side.
Yes, sir.
And those people are not in any better position than any of us. They when it rains, they water not running just like ours.
Yep.
But they have to learn this part of city government, and you're their leader, like it or not. You are, and learn this, run, and learn the race.
And this is not something you can half-ass do. You got to do
Yeah.
it. If you're gonna run a race, you gotta know what you're talking about. You gotta have knowledge of it. You're gonna build from experience of doing it, and it's good that you're doing it. I'm serious. It's good that
Yes,
you are
sir.
doing this because it's a learning experience. You're gonna know the next time. Say,
It's a
okay,
lot of work.
yeah, okay, can
Mhm.
I do this? Can I do that? But what people want to hear, they want to hear the meat of it. And it's not all about what you can do and what you would do and what you can do. It's all about what are you going to do as a city councilman that I will want to vote for you.
Yes,
How you
sir.
how you gonna get this done? How you gonna get that done? How long it's gonna take to get this done? How you gonna get somebody to come along with you and to agree with what you're saying? Who gonna help you
Mhm.
get stuff on the agenda?
Right.
How you gonna do this in the budget? How you gonna take this out of the budget? It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So we didn't want to bust your bubble or anything because we've
Oh
had
no, y'all got me learning. I'm
yeah,
waiting for Mr. Perry to say some more stuff.
we have candidates on here. We just continue to go on with it. But we know when one is ready and one that's not
Hmm.
ready. We
Yeah.
know. You know, I study this every day. We talk about this, Terry, right? We talk
Yeah,
about it
yeah.
all the time.
And
And
you gotta admit to yourself when you're not ready because
mhm,
you don't want to get out there and embarrass yourself because if you try it again and you fail, maybe this time, people gonna remember, oh, he didn't know nothing back then.
mhm,
So why should he do this again? He might know less.
mhm.
Yeah.
That's why you got to jump in it with both feet
That's
and
right.
all and two hands and know everything, not half, all of it.
Yeah.
You know, you said earlier that you decided not to run for mayor because there was too many running for mayors. Okay, but could you tell me? Um,
I can barely hear you a little bit.
you can't hear me. I'm sorry. I heard earlier you said I mentioned earlier that you wanted to run for mayor at one time, and you decided there was too many in the mayor
Well,
race.
I also talked to a couple I guess people that's running, people that been on council and
Hmm.
just learned a lot from them. And I
Hmm.
knew it would be a lot of work, And then I
Hmm.
just looking at the history, what's been going on with the mayor that we've been
Yes.
having. And I said now maybe that's a little bit too much for me.
Well, let me make this suggestion to you. After this election, if you win or if you don't win, I don't know what your path of winning, but if not, what would you do if you do not win
I'm
on
gonna
May 1st?
what I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm gonna
Mhm.
congratulate all the candidates first and understand. I mean, if it's God will, it wasn't meant for me to win right then and there. To
Mhm.
learn more, I'm gonna read more. You'll probably see more of me at city council on my days off. Probably picking y'all brains a whole lot. You probably get tired of me here and there. Uh, and just probably get more focused on the issues that's going on in the city of Beaumont, period. Not
Well,
just
that's
one ward. So
okay. That's what I want to hear. Because
Hmm.
if after the race and the a lot of candidates that does not win, they disappear.
no,
I mean,
y'all see a
they
lot more of me.
disappear. So what we want, when I'm asked that question, I ask that question is because I want to know what are you going to do after if you don't win? Are you going to get involved more? You're going to get in some groups that's involved in the community. Are you going to support those that won that the race that you did not win or whatever? I want to know. And you answered the question pretty good. You said you're going to stay involved, and that's what we want to hear. We need more people to be involved. There's no need,
Yes,
in, we have a lot of candidates that lose a race and boom, you don't see them no more. They disappear like a ghost.
they there for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Then
So and see by you running, it's getting your name out, but you don't want your name to go out not
yeah,
educated about the job. All right.
Yep,
And
yep,
that's what they're gonna remember you by.
yep.
Oh, he
This
ran the last time, he didn't know a damn thing.
Best thing to do is get you that charter book and walk around with that charter book like it's the Bible.
And read
Yeah,
it.
I got it. I've been reading on it.
Yeah, you better study it like it's the Bible.
All right. So you can know the job. When
Yes, sir.
those questions come to you, it can come out, flow out your mouth, ready to go. And you
Got
feel that you get that confidence in you. Say, oh, I got it there. That's what we want to see out of you. We don't want you to, not just you, anybody that we feel like we can help. That has the desire to want to do this. This is a big step you're making, son.
Yeah,
I got to give it to you. Everybody talk that talk, but they don't walk that walk.
Yep, you got to get
some people.
Get some people in. Yep, get some people around you that's real with you, and not gonna be fake with you and say, oh, you this, you that. You get with somebody that's real with you and gonna tell you the truth, because you probably got a lot of people around you now saying, ooh, rah this and that, but once this is over with, those people are not gonna be around saying that because they're not real with you.
Yes, sir.
You gotta have somebody, at least one person that's real. So
now, you probably have quite a few people watching and listening, and we'll be listening for the next 2-3 weeks. And I said this to say is that you take it with stride, and they're going to try you. They're going to ask you because they've heard the show, they watched it, they listened to it. They want to know if you making any steps, positive steps. Surround yourself with people that can help you, not to. If they tell you what you want to hear, they're not helping you at all. I'm proud of what you're doing. You stepped in. You stepped in. You stepped in some deep stuff, son.
That's over here in War 2.
Especially in War 2. Especially in War 2.
Yes, indeed. We ain't nice over here.
Right. Yeah, they've been knocking on doors and hey, I knocking on doors, visiting with people that you don't know, and knocking on those doors and ask them for your vote. I mean, and tell them who you are.
Yes, sir.
Who I am, and this is what I want to represent for you, and I'm asking you for your vote.
Yeah. And when he says knock on doors, that's serious business. Here in Florida, there's a statue at the state capitol of Lawton Childs, and Lawton Childs walked Florida from Key West on up to the Panhandle, and he won the governorship. I mean, he literally walked it. And I've known some candidates before that were clearly underdogs, but I can tell you from my own experience, when I've had to meet a candidate at my house and someone just came up to me, and that was a different conversation. And so that means a lot when people can touch someone because they feel like, okay, I got a hookup.
Yep.
So I know people do block walks and all of that, but when I say seriously knocking on doors, and that's what Tony's saying, do that.
You got to do that.
Yes, sir.
Knock on doors and knock on hearts.
That's right. You got to do it.
Yes, sir.
Because I got two of them that knock on my door all the time and make sure I'm still with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, ALFRED Dean, candidate for city council for Beaumont, and the race starts. When that race starts, when is early voting? April
19th.
April 19th. Yes.
Yes,
April
sir.
19th. And we have all candidates. It doesn't matter, black, green, brown, whoever. We invite them all here on this show. We don't endorse anyone, but we want you to know that we want our community to know who they are, who the candidates are. Mm-hmm. And yes, I don't want them going down the road and just punch numbers. That name sounds good. I want them to know who they're voting for, why they were voting for that person. Yeah. Thank you, ALFRED, for visiting with us, man, and we appreciate you. And I wish you all luck. But remember, go knock on them doors. I will knock on them doors. Let the people see your face. Let them know who you are.
I plan on walking. I was going to your neighborhood the other day, but it started raining. I was walking around Meadowbrooks area. Behind Buckner. That's what I've been behind. So I'll be over there I don't know which door is yours, but you gonna see me knocking.
Oh, I don't live over there.
I don't either.
I don't know where who house you go to mine?
I found one of y'all houses. Hey, Mr. Perry, are you on Facebook?
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
I will be reaching out to you. I think I already reached out to Mr. Terry already, but I like watching him and pay attention to his comments. Stuff. I learned a lot from him.
All right, man. We enjoyed you, man, and
Thank y'all.
I appreciate you taking it with heed. That you open minded and you know what we're trying to do is to help you. Okay.
Oh yes, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Proud of you, man.
Man. I'm proud of you. I really am. All right,
Yeah.
get that book and learn that charter
On that
book,
charter.
all right? Be on that
Yes, sir.
charter. All right.
Yeah.
Talk to
Have
you
a
later,
blessed night.
You too, my brother.
All right.
Okay, now we're back in the second half of the show, and that's a young man that's going to be one day, hopefully, going to get there. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. But we're back at the part of the show that we are just at the roundtable talk, and I'm just trying to think of something I want to talk about today.
Well, I mean, I'll start with where we left off, and that means, and that is, you know, I've been kind of having this idea about when I think about Beaumont. You know, I think more about Beaumont in terms of the future, I guess, because I'm not there, and I think one of the things that we really need to try to begin to do is to get people to start thinking about what Beaumont looks like 5 and 10 years from now. Because if you can't think of what Beaumont is going to look like in 5 years, how do you know who to pick to help get you there? So, you know, and I mean, because sewage, water, electricity, that shit gonna be there all the time. You know, but how does Beaumont look in 10 to 15 years?
Mm-hmm.
If most of the people under 35 are trying to migrate out of there.
Yeah, we got to get from out of this. It's a lot of landlocked stuff out here, and that's really what's starting to grow to Beaumont, because he got one guy that owns 25 properties downtown, and he's not willing to give that up easy. Got people that have land locked over on Major Drive, like toward I-10, back there. I mean, everywhere you see like a major thoroughfare or something like that, that land is locked, and the people that own it, they're not giving it up. Yeah. And we can't make them. Can't make them give it up.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do?
Yeah. But I mean, then you say, I say the same thing. Then those people don't own property in the Pearl Orchard in the North End. So what's stopping the growth there?
They buying up the land out there too. It's being bought, especially like North End. You know, a lot of some councilmen come on here and say, no, it's not being bought up, but it is. Yeah. It is. And that's why everything is moving toward the West. That's why the West is growing like it is, because they're moving everybody from the North to the West. And the West is going to be the new North End. So what can you do? I mean, it's a lot you can do, but how do you go about doing it? You got to have a visionary that can show you how to do it and what to do. And who that is, you know. It could be me. It could be Tony. It could be you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a pivotal question. I mean, because I mean, I'm tired of voting in people just so we can have the first black whatever.
Because it ain't about that with me for sure.
I'm so tired of that. You know, so you know who gonna help move an agenda? And I understand what that means, because putting someone in and then you don't have an agenda, then you can't say that they didn't do anything because we didn't give them anything.
Right.
You know, But you know, I just think that uh, anybody that's trying to run for leadership now in Beaumont that isn't thinking about Beaumont beyond what's already there. You know, I'm saying kick your ass to the curb because that we done that.
Yes.
I mean, we've done it for years.
And then unfortunately, we're probably going to continue to do it again this year.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
I see the same things coming. You know,
I hate
see
it.
the
I
same
hate
thing
it.
coming, and it just I don't know. I just see the same thing coming again.
Because you
know,
got too many bandwagon jumpers, you know, that's running. You know, they're like, oh, I need him on my side to make this happen. It's not going to happen like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Then perhaps maybe we start doing like they did in starting to do in Georgia. I mean, if the leadership is there by proxy of some other folk, i.e., i.e., preachers who endorsed, community leaders who endorsed, business leaders who endorsed. I, I I appreciate what they started doing in Georgia because they doing that double talk. Okay, well, you telling Republicans, okay, well, yeah, that look pretty good, and then you come out in the public and go, well, nah, I'm not really down for these voting laws. But no, you were in the you were in the meeting. You had your hands on it. So I think we need to start really saying that to the people.
Yeah.
I mean, where we spend our time, where we spend our tithes, where we spend our hard-earned money, if those people, because those people have a bigger voice than we do.
Yeah.
And if they're being quiet, then they're being complicit. So if you're taking all of this pain, then then who you sharing this pain with? Because somebody, I mean, if we all in this together, then where do I begin to take my pain and share that? Because somebody need to feel this.
Right.
You know, I mean, I appreciate you're there with the food drives, the water, whatever. But this is a systemic issue. And if we don't begin to change our leadership, I mean black folk, if we don't begin to change our leadership, then we can't begin to begin to say Beaumont not doing anything.
Well, it falls back to you. You not doing anything.
Yeah.
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 And that's basically what it is now. You know, and everybody's sitting back waiting for somebody else to do something instead of taking the initiative to do it, yourself. That's not just one person. It's everybody. Everybody. Myself included. So I can take that. So
I'm just saying, and I don't mean any disrespect to anybody who's running for mayor or any other position, but how can you come to this position and not bring me your best? You punking me.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to vote for mayor. So what? Twiddly dee, twiddly dum, and Porky Pig, and whoever else.
Yeah. Well, this city's been in such, it's been mediocre for a long time, and people have come to accept mediocrity, and that's what's going on now. People accepting mediocrity, so especially out here in Beaumont. So we got to change it some kind of way. And I think what we have running now, I don't know if it's any closer than what it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think that I think there may be some good, potential in some of the people that are running, but if we're not voting as a block, because they're gonna need some other help, having won against 5 is not going to help.
Yeah.
You know,
It,
and so this whole idea, I think it is worth a discussion to begin to ask candidates. Do you think our current city form of government is serving us well? This city manager, the number of districts, do you think this is serving us well? I mean, all of that is, whether you look at law, whether you look at crime, education, all of that is sitting on that one question: how do we better govern what we have?
one thing I can say, Perry, is, and I can vouch for that. And I've been back in Beaumont 18 years. I left Beaumont and was away for 27 years. And when I returned 18 years ago, it never progressed at all. I'm saying this to say is the fact that what's failing Beaumont is not leadership. We do not have a strong leadership. It's we're just carrying on. The days of the L.L. Milton and uh, um, Perkins boys and all those guys that was back in the day, Sammy Bean, we had leaders.
Yeah.
But today we don't have
No.
leaders.
No.
We don't have real leaders.
I was talking
We
to
don't
a
have
guy.
someone.
I was talking to a guy at work about that today. The exact same thing. Who we going to call?
Who are you going to call?
Who we going to call? But you know what? We got to rise up and be the person that we call.
Right.
So
And then when I step out as the leader, and the first thing our folks will say is, "Oh, here you go again. Oh, this, oh, well, wait a minute, oh boy, she been all here."
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. That people done got so used to that mediocrity.
Right.
When you trying to bring a different mindset, they still living with the other mindset that they had 30 years ago.
That's right.
And they're gonna be, no, don't you try to get ahead, Tony. You come back down here with us in 1930.
Yeah, come on, keep the same one. They never been nowhere.
Right.
They never accomplished anything. That's what we shooting at you. Pow, 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 pow. Hey, okay. So
it's a mindset.
It's a mindset. And we got to get out of that. We really do. I mean, and we've been saying this for 50 years.
Yeah.
But we still saying the same thing. But we're never are going to elevate in this city or this county without great leadership. Not just black, not just brown. I'm talking about white.
Yeah.
I'm talking about all races. We need leaderships. Someone with that would stand out among the rest. We need, that Moses.
Yeah.
We don't have it.
Nah. Yeah. I tell people all the time. My dad got in the middle of a big firestorm when he decided to support Maury Myers for congressman over Jack Brooks.
It was in the 80s.
It was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I remember that because they came out to campaign at NASA, and that's where I was working at the time. So it's a really big moment for me. But Maury Myers had to run as a Republican because Jack Brooks was not giving up that seat, and I mean it was just landlocked. And Maury had done a good job for Beaumont, and my father thought he was a good guy. Much better than Jack Brooks.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack Brooks he was like a good master. And I know that there are plenty of black people in Beaumont and Jefferson County who love Jack Brooks to this day. And I don't mean that in any ill will. It's just that My dad said, well, I mean, Jack Brooks likes you as long as you stay in your place.
Yeah.
And so when we begin to have that kind of mindset, is that okay? Well, that's just that old way. That has always been the Beaumont way.
Yeah.
But if you look at that Beaumont way, that same Beaumont way is the one that led to Beaumont being the start of the oil boom and then being left out of it.
Yep.
I'm going to post this online right now. And Tony Prados is had a comment on here. I'm going to post the next one that she posts. And we must take control of our city, but with 5 whites and only 2 black councilmen in a predominant Democratic area. That's true. Now, I'm going to move to our next comment is that we have to balance the scale, the two balance the two, to have to balance the scale. But we talk about this all the time, and we know exactly what we need to do, and then we flood the floor.
It's a mindset.
We know exactly what to do. We got the numbers. We know exactly what to do, but we flood the floor.
I was always told you can't escape until you elevate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's we cannot escape. We can't elevate.
No, we can't. We can't. And Jerry Ballin said leadership and risk takers are no fear. You're right. It takes leadership. Someone that's gonna leadership has to be a risk taker, And I agree with that. That's as you're right. And this is what we don't have.
Risk takers. A lot of people don't like because they think about their money.
Yeah.
You taking a risk with my money.
And that's what it. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. You got to take that step. I'm not to ask you to walk on waters, but take that step. Yeah. Don't stop complaining and whining about someone else that want to make those steps.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things we have to do is make city council appear in a higher elevation. I mean, if we look at it as casual, then we get casual. We get casual results from it. Like I said, if I would have run and somebody said that's my classmate, I'm cussing because that's not what I want to do for you. And I mean, and I know that that's a part of the reality. I know that's a part of the, camaraderie. But when we start falling prey to that mindset, then we don't push people to do their best. Because we've already accepted them as the better part.
Yep.
And so this all goes back to us. And I mean, I'm with Jerry. I mean, it has to be no fear.
Yep.
And for us, maybe the fear is we just not going to go back to where we were.
Uh-huh. Well, is Beaumont ready for a change? We've been waiting for a change. We're ready for a change. We're going to get that change one day. I don't know when, but we're going to get that change. we oh my God. It hurts me when I drive to Houston and see all parts of Houston growing. I mean, not just the city. I mean, all parts of the city is growing.
Let's drive right down there to Atascocita.
Yeah, I mean, and we sitting here in a gold mine. Really, we're sitting here in the gold mine. We're right here. We got a river. We've got a port. We've got the largest refineries in the world. We've got all the train tracks you want to have in the city. We've got a major freeway that runs straight on through this bad boy. And we got a university with great students. So what the hell?
But it come a time when we got to stop blaming everybody else and blame ourselves. It's time to stop blaming everybody. Like I always tell people, there's only 7 of them up there, and it's 118,000 people in Beaumont. and 78,000 of them registered to vote. So 78,000 is better than 6 all day. So we got to stop blaming them and blame ourselves. I blame myself. I'm blaming me. I'm sitting back letting things be mediocre. So yeah, I'll take that fault. But who else will?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
It's us.
It's us.
It's us. We the taxpayers.
That's right. Well, the statement about 5 whites and only 2 blacks, it means 5 Republican, only 2 Democrats. That's right. I've said it over and over again. Is that the city chamber do not represent the makeup of the city.
Does the county?
Nope. The county? No.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let's not stop at the city, because when you look at governance, most of the money in terms of what's going on is from the county, and you look at Port Arthur, Beaumont, and Port Arthur.
Nope, we got that.
I got questions for the county commissioners as well.
The thing that's helping Port Arthur is that a lot of those people that had that landlocked stuff, they're releasing that land, and you can see the growth starting to happen in Port Arthur. They're releasing that land, and it's not locked, and people are coming in and starting businesses. See, they're not willing to do that out here in Beaumont. All this stuff is still landlocked. So,
yeah, it's that old money.
Yeah, but Port Arthur is not like that no more. So they're gonna grow faster than Beaumont.
Well, that's good, because it's been tombstone for a long time.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, like I say, they released, they unlocked that land. The guy that owned it, he started selling it. So
yeah, we need more new businesses. We need more amusement. We need more parks. We need a lot of stuff, And I just don't know where to go from there. But we just need a lot. And,
it's all about the land, though, Tony. Nobody giving it up. They're not, for a reason.
So
I mean, even if they aren't giving it up, what about repurposing? We got all of Finette. I'm not there, so I'm kind of, but hell, the last time I went down 4th Street was pretty vacant, and But so what are we doing?
It leads to downtown, and pretty soon downtown is going to be booming. So that's going to be prime land for somebody.
I don't think downtown ain't gonna boom.
You'll see.
Downtown where? What downtown?
Downtown.
Monopoly?
What's the day's
Now,
date?
it may boom for white people, but it ain't gonna boom for all people.
It's gonna boom for somebody.
What town are you talking about?
What's the day's date, Tony? What's the day's date?
April Fool's Day.
Now, do you remember? Remember?
You got me, Terry. You got me.
No, I'm sorry, Terry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I can go there.
No, I'm just saying. I think one day it really will. I do.
You really
I could be wrong, but I just want you to remember the day that I told you that. So
okay,
when it happens, you'll be like, "Hey, Terry told us that on April 1st, 2021." And if it don't happen, then I was joking. So
all right. Listen, guys. Well, I like to see it myself.
I really think it's gonna happen, though.
I have some in my plans.
I'm just trying to change my mindset.
Yeah, but I have plans that I've drawn out and diagrammed, and about downtown. Seriously, guys, you think I got a crazy white mind, but I do.
All you gotta do is contact Mr. Flanagan.
Yeah, and I reached out to him because it's something that I see that it can be done in downtown to bring it back. And if they could just listen to me, it's something I can't discuss now because I don't want my vision
Yeah.
out there, and
Somebody else get it. Yeah.
somebody gets it, and but we'll get there. I'd like to see before I leave here. Leave this old side and change on over. You'll never know, man. Because right now, folks checking out of here. Whew.
Yeah,
Check it out.
more than what you know. More
I'm
than what
telling
we
you,
know.
they'll check it out of here, man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So, that's why I try to keep.
I mean, and that's
right.
got to be the question that we ask. I mean, when we check out of here, will Beaumont be better?
I mean, they would check out.
Will we
You
have
don't
left
know.
it? Will we have? No, I'm just saying. That day comes when we check out.
Yeah, right.
Will Beaumont be better when we left and when we got here?
Right.
I mean, we got young guys like ALFRED Dean trying to lead, and we don't have too many teachers.
That's right.
So we got to leave it better. I mean, and I don't know how we do that, but I haven't been quiet about saying I'm willing to help. I don't have to be in
I'll try to help
to
them
make
as much
that
as I
happen.
can.
I want to help.
I try to help many of them as I can, but I don't want to be helping too many. When I'm, I don't want to do that. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a lot to go. We got a long ways to go, guys, and we can do our best in teaching others, those that behind us, and that's what I like doing. I like teaching and educate those who want to
learn.
Learn, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot of them don't.
Right. A lot of them don't. This is why I have on. If you're watching, folks, or you're listening, I have a two-part. I have two Facebook pages that's named the same, Knowledge is Power Podcast. If you're watching or you're listening, there's two pages. There's a member page that you can post things to, and there's a podcast page that only I can post to. But the thing about it is, it's all about education. On each of those pages, please, if you want to learn about things that you didn't learn about in school, go to either one of those pages and just scroll down, and you will see things that we're talking about today, right now. We talk about things in our history. We talk about a lot of things that's going on, even our health. So if you have time, visit Knowledge is Power Podcast page, and we have, again, there's two pages: a podcast page and a group members page. I have to get that changed so we'll know which one is which. But
I'm gonna have to check out. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to check out.
Yeah, now don't go to my profile page. Now you got to put on some seatbelts on that page.
No, I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to leave out.
So, I'm finna leave. We finna close up right now.
Yeah,
we're finna close up right now. But we'd like to thank everyone that's watching us and listening to us on the Knowledge is Power Podcast Live on our first Thursdays Roundtable Talk. Again, we on Sundays and Tuesdays. This Sunday is Easter Sunday. I'm gonna take a break, so we won't be on Sunday, but we'll be back on Tuesday with the best.
Get the Easter suit ready.
Yeah. I get my Easter suit ready, and I'm gonna be clean. They don't call me Pinky Pink. Yeah,
you have anything planned leading up to the election?
Also, that's one thing I want to let you know about that we're having. Let's see here. It's going to be. It's going to be this Saturday, April the 3rd. That's right, at 4:30. The Beaumont Urban Podcast debate with all the candidates going to be on. We welcome you all to that. Watch us. I'll be there, and my host be there. My co-host be there, and the kickback be there, and Prospective and DJ Man TV and the Blue Table Talk host will be there as well. So join us on Saturday at 4:30. All the podcasters will be there. With all the candidates, and we thank everyone for watching and listening to us. And
you gonna have that? Are you gonna have that?
I have that as well. Yes, I have that on at 4:30 on Saturday. With that said,
I just want
what I always say, my people perish for the lack of knowledge.
Knowledge.
Thank you so much, guys. See you then. See you later. God bless.
All right, man.
Thank you for watching Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Be sure to like and subscribe to all Knowledge is Power social media pages.